C come up. If you look phone class and you see C right beside it, that means it is full. The capacity, them can't hold no more people. Full. And you the type of girl I take over the mama. The type of girl I know you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you guys noticed anything new, but if you notice something new, comment below, tell me what you think it is. And I'm always welcome to suggestions, criticism that is, objective. And yeah, so today's video will be a little bit different. I feel like I always say that, but today's video I'm gonna give you guys tips and advice if you're starting university. Sometimes I feel like I can't talk. But yeah, I just completed my Bachelor of Science degree at UE, so I'm officially degreed. Like, I still can't believe. Every day I check class, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna check if it's still there, if I still say degree already, because I fought so hard for this. Anyways guys, if you like this video, let me know and I'll drop a part 2. So now I'm just gonna get into it. 5 tips, and I wrote them down on my phone, which is what we're using to film. So I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. So tip number 5, they're not really in like a specific order of importance, but yeah, we're just starting out with number 5, then go all the way to 1. So tip number 5, I would say, is to definitely attend your classes, whether it be online, face-to-face. Guys, like, you really need to attend your classes, even if you say, oh, I'm gonna have somebody in the class I can get the notes from, or you feel like that class is boring, or you just, I'll just stay home, catch up. We all say that we're going online to read the notes, but we never do. And sometimes when you miss a class, it really throws you off for the entire semester. So I'd suggest to attend all your classes. Like, once you can go, I would say go. I'm not saying if you're sick or if like you're literally exhausted. I'm gonna know someone who just say I'm exhausted every day, but you know what I mean. When you just go a bit 4 o'clock because you're doing an assignment or project. But as long as you can go to class, as long as you're able to go to class, even if we're in a fall, unless we're in a fall, people stop going to classes. Like, guys, you really need to go to your class. And now that it's online, all you have to do is just log on to whatever your school site is, if it's Orville or whatever your portal is, and sign in. Remember, you don't necessarily have to have on your microphone or camera, so just sign in, just go and listen while you eat or something. But it is very important that you are there that day, even if you just log on and write down the topics, because when I'm studying, sometimes I realize that for that day I didn't write much notes, but I just look in my book. Okay, we did personality disorder on April 20th, 2020. So, I can go back to my personality disorder notes and basically just organize my studying, or just go back to say, yeah, on this date, this is what we did. And, just even just looking at the date and the topic, you probably remember something that was said in that class. But it's really important to go to class, not only go to class, but actually pay attention in class, jot down notes. If you want to type your notes, if you have MacBook or whatever, your laptop, you want to type your notes, just make sure that you go to class and that you're attentive. Like, when it comes down to finals week, this is very, very important. And I feel like I'm rambling now, so let's get on to number 4. Okay, guys, tip number 4, as I was saying in number 5, have a friend. Like, in each of the classes that you have, your contact information. Say, like if you are unable to attend the class for good reasons, you just text that person and say, hey, what happened today, or hey, can you send me the notes for today? And sometimes you even go to class but you go late, or some classes you just completely zone out. You can just ask them, hey, I missed what was said, or I didn't understand what was said. Alright, just want to go off topic a little bit because this isn't really a tip, but since number 4 we're talking about having a friend in a class or having someone in their contact number, it is very crucial in university that if you do not understand something, you ask for help, because that's how you feel courses. If you don't understand, you're not ask a lecturer, you're not ask a tutor, you're not ask a classmate, you're not ask like someone who's a level above you, you're not ask nobody, and you yourself don't know. You're not go on Google, you're not go on YouTube, you're not Instagram it. How else are you supposed to know? It just not gonna magically come to you. So it's very important that you seek help. If you don't really want to say ask someone because you're ashamed, which I don't see the reason. Anytime you need help, I'm gonna tell you, when I'm done WhatsApp people, I'm done ask. I don't really like talking in group chats, but sometimes like when you're really desperate, you say in a group chat, hey guys, anybody ever did MGMT 3036 before, because I need help. And you'd be surprised that like sometimes they get completely ignored, but there are 1 and 2 times when one person will message you privately and say, hey, I have past papers for that, or hey, this is how you do that, or hey, I have an assignment that I did last year, you can get it, and please don't plagiarize. Alright, back to what was said. So make sure you have a friend in each class. You just text them and say, hey, what's up? Sometimes you even go to class, you leave early, or you go to class late. You don't know what was said. I remember there were a couple classes where every week the teacher said, next week I tell you the quiz date, next week I tell you what coming on the quiz, and then it could be like that one class you miss with the topics for the quiz, or the one class you miss and that's the day when they take the quiz in class. Like, you really need to have somebody in your corner, or you text and say, hey, what happened today? Okay, so number 3 is alright, I'm gonna check what number 3 is and then get back to you guys. Tip number 3, remember, you can do all the studying, you can do all the assignments, but if you don't pay your fees, you're gonna get deregistered, or you're not gonna get back your exam grades, or they're gonna withhold your degree. So tip number 3 is to pay your fees on time, tuition, miscellaneous, hall fee, and if you're struggling, try to implement a payment plan. So hopefully your university has a payment plan, but I know at UE you can request a plan and work out a plan with the admin staff. Yeah. So just try to pay your fees on time. I know it's difficult, but university, they're just about business and not really about school. So you owe them $10, you owe them 1 day late, and you can't do your exam, you can't do this, you can't do that. So make sure you guys have a plan on how you're gonna pay your fees, and also just remember to look at how much your school fee is and how much your miscellaneous fee, hall fee, etc. So you have you know the exact amount. Sometimes you just be estimating and you'll be like short like thousands of dollars, or even short like $100, and they will go on almost for them $100. And sometimes me personally, I've forgotten to pay my miscellaneous fee a few times. So just remember to check all the fees that you have to pay, what's the exact amount, and yeah, just make sure you try your best to pay on time so you don't get disturbed. And we're going into tip number 2. So tip number 2 is to ensure that you register for your classes early. So usually at UE, I know that the registration period for the semester opens usually in July. So usually me, from the first day, me that front and center, because I don't want to be left with some leftover classes, or probably classes full. Like if you're going to UE and you'll use SAS and you'll see like if C come up, if you look for one class and you see C right beside it, that means it is full. The capacity, them can't hold no more people full. And that has happened to me a couple of times. So I'm just like, okay. So from the first day, I make sure I said I did a answers from my eyelash. We get the classes. Also, if you're like whether you're like a morning person or a evening person or afternoon person, night person, whatever, I know that I cannot make it to an ACM class on time. So I choose classes that are later in the afternoon, in the evening. So I can get my preferred schedule. And some people, other way around, they want to go 8 o'clock. By 10, 11, them done with class for the day. Go back at them dorm, go back at their house, and everything is, yeah, they're just done for the day. Finish early, go home, do assignments, sleep, cook, eat, order, all that stuff. Because sometimes when I choose night classes, I'll be like, why? I'm going to do this myself. 9 o'clock, I'm going to just walk, go home. I used to live on campus, so I just walked from classes to my dorm. And we're going off topic again, but I'll be making a part 2 of the freshers advice, which is more like for social stuff, hall life, stuff like that. I know that not everybody, most people won't be on hall because of the coronavirus, but I'll give you tips on that too. But this part is just basically for academic admin purposes. So yeah, as I was saying, when you register early, you get to choose the time that you want to go to class, and also you can choose like a better lecturer of your choice. And I guess, I don't know if you consider a classroom, I don't know if you want like a better lecturer or whatever, or maybe no, you won't see if a class is bigger than another. All the classes should be the same size, but when you register early, you get to choose the time, because sometimes there's a 9 a.m. and then there's a 6 p.m. You get to choose which one you like. Okay, so tip number 1, I think this is probably one of the most important tips, or the most important thing. You're at university to get your degree, you need to read the handbook. Each faculty has a handbook at UE. Yeah, I'm not sure about your different schools, your various universities, but each faculty should have a handbook, and you need to read a handbook, because at the end of the day, there are people who are like, okay, yes, we have a degree, and they realize that they didn't take a class that they should. And you don't want to happen to you, because that would be the worst feeling if you feel like, oh, sir, you're graduates, and when you look and you don't see degree awarded and you're wondering what's happened, and you call the office and you're like, oh, you forgot to do business law. Like, huh? So from day one, you need to read the handbook. The handbook should be on the website. If you go to UWI and you're Faculty of Social Sciences, then you can visit their website and download the handbook. And it should be updated every school year, so there should be a 2020-2021 handbook. It will show you all the requirements that you need to meet before graduation, all the credits, the amount of credits that you need that are core courses, and the amount of free elective courses, and they'll have, based on your major, the courses that you need to complete. And they also will suggest they'll suggest free electives on some of the majors that you do. So like I did marketing and they suggested psychology free electives, so I did like a lot of psych courses. And they'll also tell you like the GPA that you need to graduate and the various GPAs you need in order to be classified for honors. Very important. And they'll also have a list of anti-requisites. So if you did certain courses, then you shouldn't do another. Like if you did, let's say if you did course A, you don't need to do course B. And if you do course B, you'll probably have to pay a penalty, I'm not sure. But there are a list of anti-requisites, a list of also prerequisites are very important. So let's say, for example, you did math 1. No, let's say for example you didn't do math 1, right? Or you failed math 1 and you need to do math 2. Now you cannot do math 2 without having a pass in math 1. So it's very important that you look up the prerequisites for each courses. And like, let me tell you guys something. I'm gonna have a video with my university experience, and I will tell you guys about that, because that was the most embarrassing thing. One off. But yeah, make sure you read your handbook, guys. Super important that you know the courses that you need to do for a given semester, and your free electives, the amount of credits that you need overall. Is very, very important that you have all that information from your very first day. You should know. Those will help you to choose which courses to register for. It'll just help you your entire journey easier. I've heard countless stories, people register, of course they're not supposed to register for people, like say you were supposed to do a course in semester 1 and in semester 2 ready to do your course, ready to be done, and then when you look, it's not available for semester 2. Now you have to do another semester. Like there's a whole heap of thing, and people that are on courses, people too much first year courses, people forget to do courses. Like guys, you know, get it together. So I'm just giving you guys that advice, that make sure you read your handbook. For me, I just like skip through and screenshot the most important pages that were most relevant to me personally, and I just followed them throughout my journey throughout each semester. I look on the list, I said I need to do that, and just ensured that I did what I needed to do on time. So guys, this is the end of the video, and I hope that I was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.